All right, let's discuss how the concept of fairness is being misused by both white and black play, and how that affects the targeted individual. And this is why I told you not to centralize. Yeah, because when you centralized, you become one central location, and from a pragmatic point of view, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, if the concept of fairness is being misused, then centralizing your activity doesn't make sense. It's like the old saying, put them on an island and nuke it kind of thing. Yeah, so um the concept of fairness is what guarantees um our survival as a species. Every animal that is a social animal, we're talking wolves, herding animals, uh, they develop, they don't develop, they emerged a, a, a concept of fairness, not even a concept, the phenomenon, the phenomenological aspect of fairness. Yeah, that's a big word, I can't even say it twice. The phenomenological uh, aspect of fairness, or in terms of the ontological existence of fairness, is emerged by social animals. Okay, animals that herd together, that flock together. Yeah, they emerge the phenomenological existence of fairness. You can see it by observing them, but them consciously, they don't understand that what they're doing is amounts to fairness. It's a phenomenon that emerges from the way they interact socially. Now, that is the subjective existence of fairness, because you can't really find an object and say this is what fairness is. There's no objective existence of anything really. Yeah, so we're talking about the subjective existence of fairness. Yeah, so we know fairness exists because it has a phenomenological, ontological existence, which can be observed in flocking and herding animals. So this means that to understand fairness, we can just look at the animals, and they don't consciously do it, but it exists without consciousness. It's one of the fundamental properties of life. It exists when you're not conscious of it. It means if we didn't conceptualize it, would it exist? Yes, it would. Because if you look at the animals, they don't conceptualize it, but it exists. So that is a fundamental property of nature. Fairness. Every action has a reaction. Fairness. Yeah. Every action has a reaction. That's also one of the laws of motion that Isaac Newton came up with, who is the father of physics in most people's eyes. He invented physics, and one of the three laws he had was that every action has an instantaneous and opposite reaction. Okay? And that's how you come to white and black play. Yeah? So if you're an actor, you expect for there to be a reactor. Yeah? A reactor, yeah. So you can't expect to act and not have a reaction to your actions. Yeah, that's just you living in a dream. Yeah, a dream that can end abruptly as the worst nightmare you've ever seen. So you got to stop living in that dream. In the real world, every action has a reaction. Yeah, Now, when it comes to fairness, yeah, because it's a phenomenological, ontological existence, yeah, you are not the one who makes it. It exists whether you are conscious of it or not. It's not you who controls it. You can never control it. Now, you can't be the narrative that controls fairness. Whether you're black people or white people, you cannot be the narrative that controls fairness. It's a natural property that has a phenomenological, ontological existence, a subjective existence. It exists beyond our consciousness. It's not yours. So, those who are playing white misuse the concept of fairness. They give you the impression that they control the narrative, yeah, of fairness. Those who play black also often give you the impression through the narratives that they control fairness. Both of them have been doing it. Both of them are guilty of doing it. And yet we know that it's the Almighty, that Christ, anyway, so back to what I was saying. So when white play by black or white people, it's not color of your skin. White play is those who are acting, those who are wishing to act upon us, act upon society. Yeah, when they control, when they give the impression through their narratives that they control fairness, they abuse it. They will say, oh, we need to have access to your personal data on social networks to stop people who are terrorists or who are pedophiles, and they give reasons. Yeah, so then we end up giving away our human rights, yeah, for their narratives. Yeah, and then they start to abuse those new laws that we've given them. Then you find that they didn't just stick to finding terrorists, they started to use it to affect competition, where they started to sell your personal data to competitors, where any one of your competitors, this is very important for TIs, if you have somebody, if you're in a situation where you have a rival, I don't know, a business rival, a personal rival, they can go and buy your personal information, yeah, from the white play that gave us the narrative, yeah, that in the interest of fairness, they need access to our personal data. They need to take away our human rights for fairness. Yeah? And when we agree to it, they start using it in white play, making money from selling our personal information. That's when the concept of fairness is being abused by white play. Black play also abuses fairness. They say, look, we are targeted, yeah? They give you the impression, yeah, through their narratives, yeah, that they control fairness, yeah? Then they start bitching and moaning, yeah? And they say, okay, we need to be allowed to do a bit of corruption, yeah, because we're starting second, yeah. We need to be allowed to get away with, for example, get away with not observing health and safety regulations because we're starting second. Then they start to attach fairness to things which have nothing to do with it, where somebody say, okay, I don't want anyone to have their smoke alarms switched on, yeah, because I'm a victim. I'm obviously starting second. And what's that got to do with your safety? What's that got to do with your safety? Yeah. So then they start putting us in unsafe situations because they're crying about being victims. That's when black play, those who start second, those who are the reactors, start to abuse the concept of fairness. Then they expose us to all kinds of health risks and security risks because they're starting second. So then we agree to that, yeah, and we end up paying the price. Yeah. So, as targeted individuals, you need to know when to play white and when to play black. But you must be fair. You must be aware. Oh, for crying out loud! You must be aware of the concept of fairness. Yeah. You must be. Sorry about that. Anyway, you must be aware of the concept of fairness. It's not something you control, and don't try to give the impression that you own it. Yeah. Fairness is a natural phenomenon. Yeah. It's a natural phenomenon. Yeah. And you don't control it. I gotta get off. I gotta talk to this fucker. So, when you decide to play black, be aware that nature is judging you. Yeah. And you've got to be fair. Yeah. Don't pretend. Don't use fairness to get your own way when you're not interested in fairness itself. When you play white, it's the same thing. When you're looking for an opportunity, you got to be fair. Yeah. Don't use fairness, yeah, to get your way when you know you're not interested in fairness. Yeah. So when this kicks off, and it escalates, yeah, to whatever it's going to escalate to, yeah, we have to watch where fairness is, where fairness is centralized from, and that's nature who will decide where that is. Yeah. And you'd rather be as close to fairness as you can, because that's the only way you can guarantee that you can get some. Yeah. So when this does kick off, yeah, whatever, martial law, military governments, whatever, when that does kick off, yeah, you as a targeted individual, we must remain decentralized. We must remain devolved. Yeah. If you're really interested in fairness, yeah, then wherever, as far as your eyes can see, you must guarantee fairness, and you must promote those who are the fairest, those who are in line with the phenomenological, ontological existence of fairness. You look at what that existence is and only promote those who are closest to it as possible. Yeah? And only align yourself with those. This is how you fight. Be with fairness. Not the man-made one, the natural definition, the natural existence of fairness. Be where that's where that's loudest. Be where fairness is. Yeah? Head towards it if you're not there. If you're going off in that direction and people are very unfair, change direction. You must always move towards the light, the fairness. Yeah? Wherever you are, whenever it's kicked off, whether you're playing white or black, you must always move towards the fairest point. Yeah? Or the fairest location. Yeah? That is where you can guarantee that most of your human rights will be observed. Let me get off. This idiot wants to talk to me. I hope you understand this. I had stopped teaching for a bit, but I just felt I had to say something now. Ciao.